At the shores of Lake Tiberias, the troubled disciples were gathered. They had gone back to fishing. They had forgotten the Jesus episode. It was not getting better when they thought that when they went back to fishing, things would be a little bit better. There were no fish. There was only an empty net. And you find that it was a fruitless night, boats not laden, but only full of burden for the disciples. Peter was also one of them, trying to handle his lost dignity, struggling with his lies, a deep sense of unworthiness, harboring thoughts maybe the Lord won't forgive me, probably saying, no one can save me. We have often felt that way. Many times we have heard the word, you are forgiven. Yet we feel very unforgiven. We are doubtful. We are fearful that we may slip again. Today, there's a need for reconciliation. Reconciliation is more than just being forgiven. It is beyond sin. It is beyond the grace focus. The Holy Spirit accomplishes or brings about this reconciliation. Reconciliation means we are still imperfect, but somehow we are able to bridge the gaps in our lives. All of us have gaps in our lives. This side, we need to bridge them. We find that many a times we are always operating on the idea of forgiven or not forgiven, but we don't talk about moving and bridging this gap that is always in our lives. We have many kinds of gaps, many types of gaps in our lives, and the Holy Spirit is able to help us bridge that gap. And you find that there are 6 ways the Holy Spirit works in us. First, the Holy Spirit moves us from reacting and resisting to the deserts in our lives. All of us have deserts in our lives, Our barrenness, our hostilities, our difficulties, our deprivation. We have a lot of things missing in our life, dry. Right? And we find that sometimes we react to this barrenness or this fruitlessness in our lives. And the Spirit moves us from reacting, fighting it, to yielding to them, by accepting and adapting them. Living with the moment. Sometimes we are so egoistic, we are so unhappy with ourselves. But the Holy Spirit tells us, no, learn to accept your barrenness. Learn to accept your emptiness. Learn to accept the dryness in your lives. Let go. Yield. That's the first thing. From resisting to yielding. The second thing that happens to many of us is to move from doing for God. Sometimes many of us say, why am I serving in this church? I'm doing for God. You think without you, God cannot do His work? Many of us are like that. I'm doing for God. I become a bishop for God. I become a priest for God. God doesn't want that. Do it because you love Him. And that is why the movement must be from doing for God, my performance, my activity, our action, keeping SOPs for God. And all our doings to loving God, to please God like David pleased God. A man after my heart, God calls him. The third thing is to move from desiring to be spectacular in ministry, just like when you see the temptation of Jesus, jump down, the angels will come and catch you, God will not let you die. That's spectacular, kamikaze. We are trying to do something, trying to accomplish things in a spectacular way. We want our ministry to be spectacular. But God is only asking something very simple. To be simple, just be faithful in your ministry. If you are asked to feed my lambs, feed them. You feed my sheep, feed my sheep. See, because that is why he told Peter, if you love me, he didn't ask him to jump from the top, If you love me, feed my sheep. If you love me, feed my lambs. Moving from the spectacular to just being faithful in ministry. And the fourth thing is, he says, move from wanting to be powerful. All of us are power crazy. We want to be in control. We want to lead people. We want to also make people follow our will. Whether a priest, it can be a church leader, it can be parents. You all want to be in control. But the Lord is saying, move from wanting to be powerful to submission to the Holy Spirit. Submit. Let go. Let me take over. Let me show you how to do it. That is why he's told, come to me, you who are heavy laden, and learn from me. Learn from me. Jesus was burdened. How did he handle it? Jesus was suffering. How did he handle it? Jesus had a lot of pains. How did he handle it? That is why he said, learn from me. And that is what it is. Moving from wanting to be powerful to submission. And the fifth movement is move from being a Simon. Simon means reed. Shaky person, no character, no stand, always like a lalang. To Peter the rock, strong, solid, unshakable. Move. See, this is called reconciliation. Knowing who you are, that I am a lalang, then I slowly ask God, help me to become a rock. Help me to be steady. Help me to be strong. And the last movement is moving from doing a job, because when you do a job, you are paid for it. You are hired hand. You look for rewards. You have an attitude of entitlement. He owes me something because I am doing a job. I serve the church. The priest must also praise me, give me the PJK. See, that's what you'll see. Entitlement. But I am praising what you do as a ministry, job to ministry. Ministry means a sense of being called. I am called to do this service. I am sharing in the Lord's work, Lord's mission. My part is only a small part. God's plan is a big plan. My part is what I do is only a small part of what God is doing. Wow, we have to humble ourselves. We are not God. We only are doing a dot. Our part is only a dot in that whole plan of God. And this is what reconciliation is all about. God helps us to bridge. See, He knows we all got a big ego problem. He helps us to tone down so that we keep on going, recognizing it. So you see, it's not just forgiveness, no. It is also learning to move from one point to another point. And this is what reconciliation is about. So you see here, those who have experienced this reconciling spirit, they will always say, she loved us first. The Spirit loves us first. She may come as a wind, she may come as a fire, may come as a tongue of fire, but most often she's a gentle breeze. She does not judge, she does not accuse, she never blames you and makes no loud pronouncements. See, when Peter, he knew what Peter had done was bad, but yet the Spirit never said, you. He didn't accuse. He takes off, do you love me? Jesus asked, do you love me? The takeoff point is different, And that is what it is. That's the first stop. Spirit loves us first, not we love the Spirit. Then she calms us down, makes us disclose ourselves. And she's never threatening, she's very inviting. I use the word she because they say the Holy Spirit is a she, feminine. The way she moves, the way she deals with people, there's a motherliness, there's a motherly character in the Holy Spirit. A woman's character, feminine, gentle, calms you down. When you are so excited, the Spirit calms you down. The third thing will happen, those who experience the reconciling, they say, she reconnects you with yourself, with what you have lost. You lost your humanness. You lost your heart. You may have lost your love. You may have lost your dignity. It helps you regain. She helps you regain what you have lost. You're once a helpless victim. She makes you realize what you have become, and she gives you back that character. And then she'll say, just as she said to Simon, Simon, do you love me? She seeks only a heart of love. She looks for love in you. As long as there's love in your heart, the Spirit finds you. The Spirit comes to dwell inside there. And finally, she prepares us, to be hospitable. Now I've woken up the love in you. I've woken up the goodness in you. Now go and feed the hungry. Go and do what I ask you to do. Feed the sheep, feed the lamb. So she sends us out to love those that she loves. Okay? So today, just to conclude, just remember the Holy Spirit is a reconciling spirit. He builds bridges. Even within community also, the different races also, is the Holy Spirit makes us work together. It is the Holy Spirit that makes us share our gifts together. There's only one Spirit, many gifts, many fruits, and there's only one Spirit. The Spirit is a Spirit that bridges everything, unites everything, and that is what we have to discover. Okay? So therefore, you find that today, learn to recognize, always let go. Just now I told you, there's goodness in you. If there's goodness inside you, it's because the Holy Spirit dwells within you. Connect with that Holy Spirit and move with the Holy Spirit to care for the lost lambs and the lost sheep.